President Biden's big meeting with UK Prime Minister Boris Johnson. Biden said they affirmed the special relationship between the U.S. and the UK and renewed their commitment to defending the, quote, enduring democratic values that both nations share. Now the president is preparing to meet with Queen Elizabeth and members of the royal family this weekend. Our congressional correspondent Rachel Scott is following the president in Cornwall, England, and foreign correspondent Maggie Rulli is in London with more on this. Hi, ladies.
Hey.
So, Rachel, what's in this updated Atlantic Charter agreement that Biden and Johnson signed today?
Well, let's start with the first one. We'll take you back to 1941. It was significant because it really solidified the relationship between the UK and the United States as allies. Then it was focused on trade. It was focused on peace. This was right after World War II. Today, the White House made clear that we are not in 1941, of course, and that the world is facing new challenges. And so this new agreement today really reflected that. It reflects climate change, tackling that, also tackling the pandemic and these ongoing cyber attacks that the world is facing, including the United States. We know that's going to be part of the conversation when President Biden meets President Putin face-to-face in Geneva in just about a week. And then also, in addition to this agreement, we heard about this task force that is now going to be created between the United States and the UK to start resuming some travel between the two countries. This is something that has really been sidelined for the past 15 months. The two countries making it clear today that they want the travel to start resuming once again. Diane.
And Maggie, how important is that charter to this overall special relationship between the U.S. and the U.K.?
Yeah, Dan, you know, what's inside the charter is so important, but it's really the symbol of that, of the charter being announced today that is so significant. We just heard Rachel sort of go through the list of what was in it. But again, echoing back to that wartime agreement, they made a show of it, really doubling down that this was a reinforcement today of what everyone calls the special relationship. When we heard from the Prime Minister's office, they said, just as our countries work together to rebuild the world following the Second World War, so too will we apply our combined strength to the enormous challenges facing the planet today, from global defense and security to building back better, from coronavirus to stopping climate change. You know, they made it obvious that this really was a throwback to decades ago when the world came together after World War II, when our two countries came together. So the significance of this pact today shows just how important this relationship is, saying this is a moment we're going to build back better, and we're going to do it together, the U.S. and the U.K.
And Rachel, this is a summit, the G7 summit, taking place slightly post-pandemic. It almost looks normal, but I guess there are concerns about a COVID-19 outbreak at a hotel near where that summit is set to begin tomorrow. What can you tell us?
Yeah, a little about a mile away from where that summit is set to take place. We are told that it was among the staff at the hotel. Right now, it does not appear that any visitors so far have been affected, but our understanding that there are some press representatives from the United States that are staying there. It's unclear whether or not the White House staff is staying there. But as you said it, Terry, this really does reflect the challenges that the world is facing right now. We are still trying to bounce back from this pandemic. This is the first time that many of these leaders are going to be seeing each other face to face since the pandemic began. And it's been more than 400 days since an American president set foot on foreign soil. So again, this really just underscores the challenges that are in place right now. Still a lot of social distancing and mask requirements in place, I could tell you, right here in the UK.
Understandable. And Maggie, how are European leaders responding to Biden's visit so far?
You know, Dan, it's been interesting to hear the reactions because they've been pretty obvious with how they feel. Boris Johnson today calling Biden a breath of fresh air. He couldn't kind of contain his excitement, even going so far as to say, well, I agree with him on pretty much anything. And it's not just Boris Johnson. We also heard from the president of France, who said he's so excited to have America back on the world stage, so excited to be working with America to tackle some of these big problems. So allies abroad are pretty thrilled to have President Biden here at G7, really comparing it to previous administration and being quite obvious about the fact they're happy Biden is here. They're happy a change has been put in place. And there's an excitement and energy here in the UK that hopefully we can work together to actually get some things done.
And Rachel, the big announcement today, the president announced the U.S. will donate 500 million doses of the Pfizer vaccine to countries in need. So how is he getting other leaders on board, and what impact do you think it has, not just on the pandemic, but on this question of American leadership?
Yeah, Terry, this trip in a lot of ways is really all about messaging. President Biden is trying to signal that America is back on the foreign stage here, the world stage, but also signaling that we're bouncing back from the pandemic. And today he said that it is in all of our best interest if we all fight this pandemic together. So he's really trying to lead by example here. The United States now donating 500 million doses of that Pfizer vaccine to some of the most poorest countries in the world. And he's encouraging other countries to do the same, to follow his example. And really the numbers are stark when you look at this. While this is a big step that the United States is taking, the World Health Organization estimates that there's about 11 billion vaccines needed in order to vaccinate everyone in the world right now. And one nonprofit saying at this current rate, it's going to take about 57 years to achieve that goal. So really just scratching the surface here.
All right, Rachel Scott and Maggie Rulli in England for us. Thank you both. And you can watch our full coverage of the Biden-Putin summit next Wednesday, June 16th, right here on ABC News Live.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.